What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Terrell Speaks. I am your host, Timothy Wilkes, and this is the show where I do commentary on current events as well as other interesting topics. Be sure to follow me on my social media platforms, Timothy G. Wilkes on Facebook, Terrell Speaks on YouTube, and Terrell Guided Me Wilkes on Instagram. And also to show your support, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, engage, and last but not least, enjoy the show. Okay, now we can get this party started. I was going to cover a story about a guy that was sentenced to life in prison for ounces of weed. But I'm going to do the unemployment thing because that's been nationwide. Because 21 states so far, 21, have opted out of receiving the pandemic 300 benefits every week. And they're blaming unemployment benefits. They're basically blaming unemployment for people not returning back to work. They're basically blaming that. There's a labor problem because there's a labor shortage because of unemployment. They're getting $300 a week. They think $300 a week is stopping people from coming back to work. Now, research has already shown that it's not due to unemployment benefits. That's a minor effect at best. The majority of the reason is due to COVID. It's due to job safety, it's due to COVID, and it's due to another thing that it's not being mentioned. People not getting paid enough on jobs. You can't feed a family making $7 an hour, $8 an hour, $9 an hour. These are ridiculous wages. That's why President Biden tried to raise the wages. He tried to raise them to 15 at least. Because who can feed their family $7-8 an hour? That's kid stuff. That's what people in college should make. That's what grown people with families, grown people with kids, grown people with bills and rent and all that other crap, they can't afford to feed their family with that, and they know that. We were making more on unemployment than we were making on regular jobs. They have the system set up to where you cannot survive on a regular job. If you don't have a business, if you don't have business ventures, if you're not entrepreneurship, if you don't have several streams of income, you simply aren't going to make it in this new economy. That's the way it's set up. That's the way. And they say that they shouldn't give out free things. The Democrats shouldn't give out free stuff. And this is I should have said this before I got started on this rant. I don't care how anyone feels about my opinion. If you disagree, we can get on the line or we can get on the next show and talk. But as far as my opinion goes, when it comes to this, I don't give a crap. I don't care, because I'm sick of the other party. I'm sick of them. You saw what they did with the Capitol and all that stuff. You saw what they did with how Donald Trump incited the riot and all this other stuff. I don't really care what people think. Anyone that still supports this guy, something's wrong with you. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. Something is wrong with if you support somebody that does business with other countries, which is illegal. He's committed several felonies. Anybody that supports a guy that commits treason, anybody that has any kind of support of a person like that stands by his side, we're gonna stand with him, then you're just as bad as he is. I don't care what you think. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like my opinion. I respect everybody else's opinion, and you're gonna respect mine. I mean, I'm just saying, but even with the Republican Party, you see, they tried to stop the stimulus at first, like the whole Mitch McConnell crap that went on, and you also have now they couldn't win the House, they couldn't win the Senate. Now they're going out of their way to end the pandemic. They're trying to do whatever they can legally to try to stop people, because you have people that have business. Everybody can't be a business owner, guys. Everybody can't make six figures. The Republican Party is expecting everyone to make six figures. They're expecting everyone to start a business. They're expecting everyone to just succeed in life. Why can't you just start a business? Mother trucker, I don't have the resources. How about that? I'm saying I do have a business. I got me personally, I have one. But what about the ones that don't have the proper upbringing, that have never been introduced to that have never had that kind of resource? Everybody can't get a degree from Harvard. Everybody can't graduate from Spelman and all these other prestige universities. Everybody can't do that. Okay? Everybody can't do it. You understand? So, it's all this other stuff. All this noise talk is just crap. That's what it is. Because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have any intentions in helping people. They don't have any kind of heart to serve the American people. A lot of the things the Republicans have been doing lately have been basically against what America stands for. It has not been American. Attacking the Capitol, attacking the White House, that's not patriotical. That's not standing up for America. That's terrorism, guys. A lot of things they do is terrorist stuff. They don't want you to have unemployment. They don't want you to have $300 a week. Why is that such a big issue? Having $300, what's $300 a week gonna hurt people? And the reason they're not returning back to work, like I said before, they're not making enough to survive. They are making more on unemployment than they ever made on their jobs, than they ever could make on a job. A lot of them were only making $7 an hour. A lot of them were only making $8 to $9 to $10. That's not enough. I've worked regular jobs and I've made those kind of. I've made that. I know because I've done it. I always talk from experience. I've made $7 an hour. I've made $10 an hour. I made $11 an hour. None of it was good enough, guys. None of it. You can't pay your rent with that kind of money. You can't pay your rent with $10 an hour, with $11 an hour. I've tried it. I'm not horrible with finances either. I'm responsible. I pay my bills. I pay what I have to pay. If you're going to get a decent car with a car note, or a lot of people have car notes, a lot of people have insurance, a lot of people, because they make you get insurance. Insurance is mandatory, especially when you have a car note. You have to get full coverage insurance, which is like $100 to $200 a month. And you have to get a car note. Sometimes the car note is $3 something a month. Then you have rent $6 something a month. You can't live like this. You can't do it. They have it to where you just can't survive. They stack the odds against you. I really believe it's done on purpose. That's just my opinion. I really believe it's done on purpose to keep people down, to keep people in poverty. Everybody should start a business. Everybody should. It's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't have an entrepreneurial mindset. That takes a whole nother mental state of being. Because I don't like a regular job. I don't want to work a regular job. I don't commend people. I mean, I don't bash people for wanting to work 9 to 5, because it takes another mindset. It takes a certain amount of sacrifice. It takes a certain amount of hard work, training, mentorship. It takes a lot of not wanting to work for to be your own boss. It takes a lot of that to start a business. You know how much work it takes to start a business? You know how much failure it takes to start a business? To actually succeed at one, you have to start other businesses that fail. You have to learn from other people's failures. You have to have the right mindset. Not everyone is willing to do this. Not everyone is willing. Some people just want to teach. Some people just want to be a manager at a company. Some people just want to work at a company. Some people just want to supervise at a company. Some people just want regular jobs. But they have it to where if you work a regular job, you can't survive. They have it where it's like that. So that's why a lot of people rather get unemployment. That's why a lot of people rather get unemployment. If you up the wages, if you up the amount of money they're getting paid, if you start treating your workers better. A lot of these jobs have higher turnover rates too, because they treat their clients like crap. I know, because I used to work on a lot of these jobs. They treat their workers like crap, like dog doo-doo. I've worked on a lot of. That's why I hated a lot of workplaces. The workers get treated like dog crap. You don't get paid enough to live. I had to cheat to survive. I had to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do to survive. Just to survive, just to pay all my bills, just to live halfway decent. And still, it still fell up short some months. It's ridiculous. $9 an hour, $8 an hour. If you have kids, if you have a family with kids, and basically they're saying the only way you're gonna make it is for you to be single and not have any kids. It's the only way you're gonna survive, to live off Happy Meals and kids meals, and that's all they're doing. $7 an hour. That's for high school students. That's for children. For children. And the only thing, the main industry that's short is food service, restaurants and stuff. Not everyone is fit to work in a restaurant. Not everyone is cut out to work in food. I know I'm not gonna do it. I'll never do that. I don't want to work in a fast food restaurant. You can't pay me to work at Burger King. And a lot of these unemployment people that are gonna lose out. They're gig workers. A lot of them had their own businesses. A lot of them were musicians. A lot of them were traveling. A lot of them had things going, but due to COVID, It was shut down. Me myself, I had a mobile detailing business. I received unemployment too because I had my own business. I wasn't going around being lazy and slouching and knowing all that. I wasn't one of those because I was a hard worker. I had 30 plus clients all across the Gulf Coast in different cities. People from Pascagoula, people from Hattiesburg, people from Long Beach, people from Ocean Springs, St. Martin, Gulfport, of course, Orange Grove. I had a lot of clients. I had grew it within a couple of months. Started in May, April, and by August I had 30 plus clients. I had people from various places coming to me to get their cars cleaned, get their cars serviced. I was a professional detailer for 5 years before I even did this, before I even started my own business. So you mean to tell me that I'm lazy, that I just want to live off the system? No, I went out there and tried to get it myself. So you have a lot of those people that, like me, receiving benefits due to COVID because we were shut down. We had adhered certain mandates, and not only that, I myself came in contact with COVID and had to step down from my business because I had long-lasting effects. I could no longer be in heat. I could no longer withstand high physical activity because my body wasn't able to deal with it anymore. So I have long-lasting effects from COVID. Still have a bad cough. Still have a lot of things I have to deal with from COVID. I was down for 2 months, sick because of COVID. And you mean to tell me that we can't, people like that can't receive unemployment? A lot of them have businesses. A lot of them had gigs. A lot of them had jobs outside of, that a lot of them weren't working regular jobs. Some of them had to shut their businesses down permanently. And you mean to tell me that they can't receive unemployment because they don't want to work at McDonald's? Why would I? Okay, if you worked hard to grow your business, to build your business, would you want to work at McDonald's, would you want to work at Burger King? Would you want to go from all of that to work at Waffle House? You had your own business now. You've had your own business. Let's say you're making a lot of money per week. You was the head of your own ship. You was the captain of your own ship. You would go from that to work at Burger King. Get the freak out of here. Get out. I'm not doing it. I don't care. You're not going to pay me to do that. I'm not going to give up a whole entire business to serve food for somebody. And I don't even like that kind of industry. No, it's not cut out for everybody. I wouldn't do all that. I wouldn't want to give all that up to work at IHOP. Get out of my face. And they expect people to do this. And they don't pay enough. That's why a lot of workers aren't returning, because they're not paying enough. They're not paying enough for these employees. They treat them like crap. They work them all to hell. They work them into the ground. They work them until they can't work anymore. I know, because I used to work regular jobs. They work you into the ground. I have a better time with my own business. I had a much better time working for myself than I ever had working for a regular job. I made more money working for myself than I ever had working for a regular job. Now I tell you this, guys, find what you're good at and just start doing it. Whatever you can do for free, just start doing it. Start making extra money, because they have been making it clear. They're going to try to do what they can. The Republicans, they're going to try to do what they can to try to stop any kind of aid coming in. A lot of people may not agree with me saying this, but I have a reason for it this time with the pandemic. A lot of businesses were shut down. A lot of people need that unemployment because they were gig workers. They were getting paid under the table because they made their own money. They had to make their own means. And a lot of times, and the reason why I, myself, this is my experience now, I try to look for jobs all the time. They don't want to come back to work. They don't want to do it. I looked for jobs. I went on all kinds of job apps. Before I started my detail business, I applied for over 300 jobs per week. I applied for job after job after job after job after job after job after job. No one hired me. No one wanted to hire me. Every job I applied to, I went on Indeed, I went on other jobs, I filled out applications. No one hired me, okay? No one wanted to hire me. I applied for TV stations, I did all of that. No one wanted to hire me. I've been on interviews, never got hired. I applied for jobs in Arkansas, moved back to Mississippi, lost everything. Moved to Mississippi, moved back home, applied for more jobs, couldn't get a job to save my life. The more jobs I applied for, couldn't get them, calling. We don't need anybody. then why do you have the application online, douchebag? This is the thing. A lot of us are trying, and this is the contradictory part. Unemployment requires you to apply for jobs. It requires you to apply for jobs every week. But they're saying people don't want to return to work when we're applying for jobs every single week, guys. How? That doesn't make that make sense. And like I said, I was applying to job after job after job. No one wanted to hire me. No matter where I was at, no one wanted to hire me. Only things that are hiring, work from home. You might get a work from home. You might get lucky and get a work from home. You might get a job paying commission only, some kind of sales position. Not everyone's cut out for sales. So you got to do what you got to do. I started my own detailing business. I took some money from SSI because I get those benefits. But you take some money because and start your own stuff. I had to do my own thing because depending on jobs, SSI wasn't enough, really. That's why I started trying to find jobs, because SSI wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. So what I had to do, I had to make a way. I took some of that money, bought some detail equipment, and started detailing cars. And to get my clientele up, I started doing cars for free. I had to do what I had to do. We have to do what we have to do. We have to squirm and squiggle and do all this other crap to survive. It's a whole survival game out here. And I managed to get that unemployment up. I managed to get it up. I managed to get it not unemployment. I managed to get my detailing business, my clientele for my detailing business. Managed to get it up to 30 plus clients. Worked hard. I started doing carpet cleaning. I started doing pressure washing services. I was doing pressure washing, mobile detailing, and people came to me, to my house, and I cleaned and also did carpets. And before you know it, the pandemic hit. But before it was announced as a pandemic, I found myself with COVID-19 because I had all the symptoms. I was down for 2 months. I never get sick. I barely ever get sick. I was sick for the longest period of time ever. I had COVID when it first came out, like in November, December. Had COVID. And then I found myself having permanent upper respiratory problems. Couldn't hardly breathe in the heat. I can't breathe. When it's really hot outside, I cannot breathe. When it's really hot, I can't breathe. I'm about to pass out. So now I can't work effectively. I can't do my detail business. I can't even overexert without having problems. Breathing, health problems. So I had to switch over. I had to try to do something else. Now, think about this. You have people like this all over the nation. I'm not the only one. I didn't bring this story up for a pity party. There are people like this all over America. A lot of gig workers. A lot of people are homeless. A lot of people are sleeping in their cars. A lot of people, because unemployment they've been playing with the money. People have been trying to find other things. Why would people just lay up and not work when they've had gigs, when they've had jobs, and when they've had businesses? A lot of jobs that they've had, those businesses shut down permanent. They didn't get the chance. It's just and a lot of jobs aren't just hiring like that. They have hiring signs, but that doesn't mean they're just gonna hire you. Because I know people that are always applying for jobs all the time. I know people that are doing this weekly, daily. They're applying for jobs and still not getting hired, guys. So that's a deception. They're saying, "Oh, unemployment is keeping people from coming back to work." No, it's not. Like I said, research proved that COVID-19 itself was the main leading cause. It was the leading cause of people not being able to go back to work, and also being underpaid. Anybody that will sit around and wait on $300 a week when they've previously had a job, even with the $600 a week, they previously had a job. They were making $600 a week is not even enough to survive. It's not. Unless you have some kind of studio apartment and you just stand by yourself. Because if you have kids, if you have a family, if you have a wife and kids, it's not enough. $600 a week is not enough. You're still scraping by to survive. Because the average is still below the average. The average black male in America makes $800 a week. The average white male in America makes $1,000 a week. The average. These are average numbers now. That's still less than average. So you mean to tell me that making less than average income is a major cause for labor shortage? Come on. It's not even. It's just not even a debate, guys. It's way less. In 300 a week is way less than average. Way less than average. Way less than average. It's not even close to enough. So you mean to tell me someone makes maybe 1/3 of the average income in America, and it's a major problem? It's a major issue. If unemployment is stopping people from coming back to work, that says a lot about the economy. That says a lot about the jobs. That says a lot about the employers not paying the people enough. If 300 is more than they were getting paid originally, that's sad. Some people making $800 a month, $600 a month, $1,000 a month. You're only making $1,000 a month. Some bills are more than $1,000. Rent is almost $1,000. And you mean to tell me that they should leave that alone? They should leave the 300 alone and go back to making $7 an hour, $8 an hour. You kidding me? They should bust their tails to make $7 an hour, $8 an hour, $9 an hour. None of all that's crap. All the crap wages. Crap. It's crap. I've added it all up. You're making 600 every 2 weeks. You're making 600, probably 600, 630 every 2 weeks. That's nothing. 1,200 a month. Bill, the rent is $650. Car note maybe $350, or if you make it, buy a rust bucket. If you can afford it. If you can afford spending $2,000 or $3,000 on a car for cash. If you can afford it. Not everybody can afford it. What I'm saying is, they're not paying us enough to survive on a regular job. If you do get hired, you're not making enough. When they do decide to hire you, they're working you in the ground and not paying you enough. They should pay people more. Now, it should be based off the importance of the job, but they should pay you more. They should pay people more. They should pay you enough to live off of. They shouldn't pay you enough to where you can barely make it, where you can't survive, to where you can't pay your bills, so you have to find other ways and other means of survival outside of your job. Because when you get off your job, you're already tired. You're already tired. You're already exhausted. You're already feeling like, okay, I'm drained, I'm exhausted. They worked me so hard today. Today was a hard work day. And then you get your check and it all goes to bills. That's depressing. That's a very depressing economy. Because the middle class, they have the middle class to where, you know, all the money that's set up to go to different countries to take care of other countries. They give to Israel, they give a certain amount to Israel, they give a certain amount overseas, the other countries overseas. It comes from the middle class, guys. It all comes from the middle class. The middle class is responsible for taking care of the rest of the world, the rest of the countries that they have to give money to, all the benefits that is off the backs of the middle class. Even the lower class, people that get food stamps, people that get SSI, like I said, but I need it because of my vision. I have a disability, but others like me too that also have a disability. The middle class has to take care of everybody. That's why they're struggling. That's why they don't make enough. That's why they get taxed so much. And they're not even making. They're barely making. They're like making $800 a week. The average person, middle class, $800 a week, $1,000 a week, and that's average. That means most people aren't even making that. That's just middle class. It's one class of people. So if you're not upper class, if you don't have several streams of income, if you don't have multiple things that's making you money, if you're not making money in your sleep, you're not thriving. That's how they have it set up. All the people that are rich, that are wealthy, and all of this, they're trying to help you start a business. How are they helping me start a business? How are they helping people start a business? How are they helping everyone that's middle class? How are they helping them start businesses? Everyone doesn't want to start a business. Some people just want to work good jobs and live comfortable. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. You can't force people to do this. You can't force people to start their own stuff. everyone doesn't have that mindset. Some people just want to work. Some people just want to be a plumber. Some people just want to be an electrician. Some people just want to just live a normal life. That's all some people want. But not if the economy has anything to say about it. They want everyone to have multiple streams of income. You can start. I'm a millionaire. You can become a millionaire. Get out, man. Just get out of here. I can't stand this kind of stuff. I can't stand people that think like this. Not everyone is able to do this. Not everyone has that level of understanding, that level of creativity, that level of direction. Not everyone has a vision that big. Some people, all they want to do is work at a bank. All they want to do is be an electrician. They just want to live their life in peace. All they want to do is work. There's some people, I don't look down on people like that, because we need employees just as well as we need business owners. Because if all people were business owners, you wouldn't have a business. You wouldn't have businesses. I can't stand, I never could stand business people. That talk down on regular workers. You're a slave to the system. You're a slave. You're brainwashed. You're an idiot. If you didn't have those quote unquote slaves, quote unquote idiots, you wouldn't have a business, sir. You wouldn't have a business, ma'am. So what's wrong with people? But anyway, this is a thing, and it's really a problem for a lot of Americans, because they don't I don't know. They don't know what they're gonna do. A lot of people don't know what they're gonna do. It's starting a panic, because they decided to abruptly end unemployment. A lot of people were depending on it until September. They thought they had longer to either find work somewhere or do something. Now you have, like I said, you have a lot of people that had to go from having a business to working a regular job that's not even paying enough. That's not even paying enough to pay their bills. This is not, and like I said, let me also make this clear. 45 knew about COVID before it came out. They had audio of him knowing about COVID. He knew about COVID. He knew. But he didn't release the information. He didn't tell the public there was something to worry about. Nothing was done really to stop the pandemic. Nothing was put in place. But we got money and stuff like that, but nothing was put in place to prevent the pandemic. It could have been prevented way before it was declared a pandemic. When it was announced as a pandemic, when COVID reached America, when people started hearing about it in November, something could have been done about it then, because you stop something early, you start preventing it early, you can do something about it. But nothing was done about it. They just blamed Obama for everything. Obama administration. Obama did it. Obama. The previous administration, they did it. They didn't have enough equipment. But you fire people that were in charge of the pandemic. Then you cut the funding. I mean, it's just, and everyone that exposed it as a pandemic, everyone that told the truth about it, you fired them. Everyone that said, no, we really need to worry about this thing, this is a problem, you fire them. So now you want to blame unemployment. You want to blame people for not wanting to work at a job they were already unhappy at a job they were getting underpaid at a job they were dissatisfied at, to go back to work, to being underpaid. You want people to give up on their businesses, the businesses they had in place, they got shut down permanently, to go work at McDonald's, to go work at Burger King. These people had businesses. Some people put their life savings into a business, and you want them to give all of that up and go back to working for Burger King, and go to Waffle House and flip omelets. Are you kidding me? Basically, what I'm saying is, there's no way, and especially if these people aren't being paid enough on these jobs in the first place. Like I said, I mean, and I just can't believe people, the Republican Party would still stand by, and they're blind, guys. They're blind. And I don't care if my post gets trolled. I don't care if my podcast gets trolled or whatever. I don't care. I've seen other people's posts talk about this and they get trolled. I don't care. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to do any of that because I don't care what you think. If you're so adamant about defending things like this, defending people that are against you getting aid, the people that are defending the people that are against you getting, like business owners, former business owners, getting the help that they need, people getting the aid they need because of a situation that was not their fault in the first place, then you, sir, have a problem. You, ma'am, have a problem. I don't even want to even entertain your discussion. I don't even want to entertain your argument. I'm not going to respond because you're an idiot. I don't care. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think. I don't care what arguments you bring up. We see things on video. We've seen stuff on video. We've seen stuff on tape. We've seen stuff on camera. We've seen too much on video. I've seen too much on video. I've seen too many things on video. I've seen too many things being said and done on tape. The whole Capitol thing, you really want to defend that? Oh, the Republicans are great. They're amazing. After they did that, the same people that talked about Black Lives Matter, they stormed the Capitol. They killed a police officer. They had bombs and all this kind of stuff. They had terrorist weapons and stuff. But they blamed Black Lives. They were upset with Black Lives Matter for protesting. And people are still defending this. The Republican Party is still defending it. They're still upholding this crap. They're still standing by it. We stand by it. Then you're just as bad. You're just as bad. And those people, they had people saying, hang Mike Pence. Mike Pence is a Republican. They don't care. These people don't care. They've shown you they don't care. They do not care. Anybody that tries to lift healthcare, that tries to cut off healthcare in the middle of a pandemic, doesn't care about anybody. They're a selfish, evil bastard. Just my thoughts, okay? That's what they are. You can take it how you want, like I said, but if you want to if you want to disagree, we can talk about it on my show. But other than that, if you troll my page, you troll my stuff, my comment section, I won't be responding because I don't care. I don't care about people that are uneducated that try to comment and all this other stuff. I know different parties are crooked. I know every party has a crooked side to them. I'm aware. I'm aware of all this, okay? But think about this for a second. Think about this for a minute. Under Bill Clinton, the country was off the chain. It had a surplus. We were in great shape. Under Barack Obama, the economy was in great shape. It's in great shape. But they gave all the credit to 45. He got all the credit. Obama didn't do anything. And then as soon as 45 got in office, the economy is amazing. Now it's amazing all of a sudden. It was terrible when Obama, but as soon as Trump stepped in office, as soon as he stepped in there, now it was in great shape. All of a sudden, before he signed anything, and I looked up everything he did. Everyone always says, he did all this great stuff. He's our hero. He's a great white hope. He's the best thing ever that happened to America. He's the best president since Abraham Lincoln. I looked at everything he did. All he did was sign stuff, guys. A lot of things that the president signed, some of that stuff was cycling between the House and Representatives for years. Some of that stuff Obama was pushing. Some of those things he just signed a lot of the things that Obama was pushing, that was trying to get signed. They gave all the credit to yours truly, to 45. So that's just a little tidbit there, because a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people don't think this. A lot of people don't think about this stuff. We have to think about it for a minute. We have to think about this. We just say stuff and don't think. Think about it for a minute. Just think about it. Just sit and think about it. They're mad. First they were mad that they didn't win the presidency, that they didn't win the House, and all of that. They stormed the Capitol. They tried to invade the Capitol. They're just a bunch of babies. They're a bunch of rich babies. They're acting like a bunch of needy, rich babies. Weak and spoiled and rotten. They act weak and rotten and spoiled. Now they're trying to cut off unemployment. It could have lasted. What would it hurt them for 2 more months from June? Okay, June, July, August. What would 3 more months hurt them? They're just being petty. They mad because they didn't win. So they're being petty. They're just doing stupid, childish stuff. They're the most childish, ignorant pieces of people that I've ever met in my entire life. I don't understand how people could act this childish and be this old and ignorant. We're opting out. We're not receiving any more unemployment. It's just stupid. They're blaming. They had the nerve to blame this stuff. Blame all the job labor, the poor, the low labor on unemployment when it's not. It's not that. It's not even the case. $300 a week. If there was a job, if I was a regular worker, let's say I found a job that made $1,200 a week, I would give 2 craps about $300 a week when I can go to work for $1,200. That's just my thing now. It's me. It's just me. If I could get a job for $1,200 a week, for $1,500 a week, I would not care about $300 a week. The reason a lot of people are settling for the $300 a week because they were making less than that. They are making just as much. Some people were only getting $600 every 2 weeks. I know because I used to work these jobs. I used to work for the state. I used to work all these kind of jobs. I worked for call centers. I did all this kind of stuff. I was barely making $600. Some jobs I only got $500, $400 every 2 weeks, and you only get $400. $400? You out of your mind. And then you get $300 for unemployment plus what you could get for the state. Some of them are getting $400 or $500 a week now on unemployment. That's more than what they were getting, guys. That's more than what they were getting on. They was working their tails off. They was working to exhaustion. They was working till they could barely stand up and barely making enough to feed their children. That's the problem. Has nothing to do with unemployment. It has everything to do with being underpaid. It has everything to do with COVID-19 itself. It has everything to do with people worrying about safety precautions. It has everything to do with that. I'm just saying, man. I just want us to think, and however people feel about it. And you have people that I have fellow Christians that support this nonsense. That support people storming the Capitol. That support domestic terrorism. That support somebody that does business with Russia. That support somebody, he's out of office now, of course, but still want him in office even after he's done all these things. Even after he's done all these, committed all these crimes. Yeah, he's a God-fearing man. He's a man of God. I stopped giving these people my attention. I stopped giving these people the time of day. Because how could you be so delusional? How could you be so brainwashed and mind blown and driven into insanity to where you believe somebody that commits terrorist acts, somebody that does illegal business outside of the country, that they're actually a good person? He should be running this country. The country. Research says he's done more damage to America than any other president. He's done more damage in 4 months than any other president did in 8 years. People were begging for George Bush to come back. That's how bad it was. And I ain't got nothing against Bush. He was a genuine person. He was a good person. I don't have anything against him. I don't dislike him. I don't have anything against him at all whatsoever. But I just disagree with some of his decisions. But he was actually a good person, a decent person. But this guy, I'm not even mad at him anymore because that's over with now. But now the next administration has to come in and try to undo this stuff. Has to come in and clean up some stuff because there was a lot of damage done, guys. Now the Republicans, now they're just choosing to. We don't want the benefits anymore. They just make up stuff. They make up reasons. They're just making up stuff. They're making up things. That's not going to hurt the country. You got other countries that's doing that, and they're not even capitalist nations. They're just making stuff up. Unemployment is not hurting the economy. It's not hurting the country. It's not at all. It's not. It is not. Why? Okay, if 300 was enough to hurt the country, we were already doomed. We were already doomed. If that 300, you can't wait 2 months. You can't wait 3 months for it to expire. You have to opt out now. You're a petty, childish moron. You're just petty. People that go along, and anybody that go along with this crap, they have a right to whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Don't care what you think, but it's just being petty. This whole, I don't understand it. I don't understand anybody that would just go along with that. But that's all I really want to say on this. I'm done with this topic because it's just, it's crazy, it's bizarre, and people still, the fact that people still support it, the fact that the Republican Party still stands behind terrorist acts, the fact that all this stuff is still supported, even after the people that stormed the Capitol were known racists, they were known prejudiced people. The fact that that was actually a thing, and you can argue with me all you want. There was video out and all this stuff that proves it. If you want to argue against evidence and facts, you're not worth my time. Okay? You're not worth my time. Don't try it. I don't care. I won't respond. But like I said, I don't have anything else to say on this because I'm done. I'm really done. I'm really done because I don't know. All I can say is we have to find better ways to invest our money. We have to find our own way to make it. Whether you invest in the market, whether you find some kind of side business, find some kind of home-based business. I see a lot of people doing that. That's the only way I see anybody making it. It's the only way I see anybody gonna survive in this. The income that they have now, since it's going towards business people only, I suggest that people, even if you have a regular job, invest in something that you can do on the side. Invest in some kind of side hustle. Invest in some kind of way that you can invest. Even if you're not a business person, I think you should learn about how to invest your money, where to put your money, where it can grow, where you can make your own money, where you can make money in your sleep. I believe it's just the best option now. It's the best option because I always go on a rant about the problem, but I don't do that without also talking about the solution. We're also talking about ways we can help ourselves because we have to be proactive too. We know the problem now. We know we're not going to get it. We can't really just rely on the government. We know we just can't do that. We know we can't allow that to be our source. So now we have to figure out other ways. Now we have to try to be proactive. Now we have to try to find other means. We have to try to figure out how to make our money, make money. Even if you're not a business person, we should all take part in learning financial literacy, because what I've been trying to do lately, that's what part of my business is dealing with financial literacy, helping people better manage their finances, help people better invest their funds, showing them better ways to do that. So if you want me to do a show on that, one day I can do a show on that, dealing with financial literacy, how to invest and proper ways to invest, things like that. But I want to, on another show, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that black people need in their life. I'm gonna go over those on the next show because I promise you guys that show, like the guy that had a life sentence, I'm gonna connect it to that. I'm gonna connect it to the 3 things that black people need in their lives. But I had to do this show first because it was really biting at me. It was really itching at me, and I'm not one of those guys that sit around. I'm not an extreme liberal. I'm not an extreme liberal either. I don't sit around and just blame white supremacy for everything. I don't do all of that. I also try to find ways to be proactive. Find ways, because there was always a way for us to make it in the system. You have ways to invest. You have, like I said, you have side businesses, you have side hustles, have other ways outside of work to make money. There's a lot of money out here to be made. You just don't have to know what you're good at. You have to know what people like, and you have to know what you're good at. You have to know what gifts you have. Just use what gifts you have. You might be good at sewing. You might be good at making things with your hands. You might be good at cooking. You might be really good at making jewelry, things like that. You might be a physical personal trainer. You may be you may be good with meal prepping and stuff like that. You may be good at doing hair. Whatever your gifts are, try to explore those gifts and try to find ways to make money outside of. Try to find ways to make money outside of the system, because we can't always rely on that. Sometimes that's just what it is. I'm telling you now. If you've never heard that before, I'm telling you now. If you know, it's because we know that we can't completely rely on that, so we have to go out there and get it. A lot of people don't hear this, so I'm speaking for the people that don't get to hear it. We have to focus on other ways to make money. We have to focus on other ways to try to, like I said, to try to grow that money. You don't want to always have to work for every dime that you get. That's depressing. That's a depressing way to live. Don't focus on working for every dime that you get. You want to try to figure out how to make your money make money. If you're just working a regular job, you want to be able to put that money somewhere where it can make money. You don't want to just have to earn every dime. That's depressing, especially when all your money is going to bills. You want to invest a little bit. If you only have a little bit to invest that little bit, and try to figure out how to get that money to make more money. To try to figure out how to get, you might find something that you really enjoy doing on the side that you can make a lot of money. You might, especially if you like doing music. See, I'm a musician also. I do gigs. I do weddings. I do funerals. I do parties, different events like that, stuff like that. So there's different ways you can make money. There's different ways you can make a living. And I just always speak for people that don't get to hear this. You have people that don't get to hear this. You have people that don't have proper upbringing. You have folks that are out there that are lost. They're trying to find themselves. Everyone doesn't have the same upbringing I had. Everyone need to get to go to Harvard. Everyone need to get to go to college. Everyone need to get to have the same opportunities. Some people, it takes longer for them to find themselves. It took me a while to find myself. So I know it takes other people longer. So I'm not just speaking for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, and this is just a rant. The rant idea is just a rant. It's just content. So I don't, people that want to decide they want to troll or do mean, nasty comments, they can do what they want. Like I said, I'm not gonna respond. But this is just stuff I do. I'm very passionate about certain topics. I talk about things I'm passionate about. It makes for good, it makes for good interaction. So if somebody wants to jump on the topic with me, if you want to disagree, I give them the space. I give them the platform to do it. But like I said, you have to find a way to make your money make money. Make your hard-earned money make money. If you're just working a regular job, make your money make money. If you were relying on unemployment to get you through, try to use some of that money to invest. Try to use some of that money to try to invest in something that's going to make you some money. I know, it's crazy, that things just stopped all of a sudden, but sometimes we can't control that. That's why we have to handle our business. That's why we have to make sure we have ourselves together, because we can't control those things. We can't control the decisions that the government makes, that the governors make. They decide they want to cut it off. Hey, that's their business. It sucks. It's terrible, because a lot of businesses, a lot of people that were relying on it till September have to find another way to pay their bills. It's gonna be, it's gonna be on hard times for a lot of people. But it's just the way life goes sometimes. That's why I said we have to find other ways, find other avenues, find other ways to make money, find other things that we can invest in. Because, like I said, it's just being proactive. It's all a part of being proactive. When one way doesn't work, we just have to find another. We have to do what we have to do. Just like I said, I couldn't find a job to save my life, so I started my own business. I had to. I started my own business. I spent 2 or 3 years looking for a job and couldn't find one, so I had to start my own. I went out there and created a job. Everybody doesn't get to do that, because a lot of people don't know their gifts. A lot of people don't know what they're good at. But even when you don't know what you're good at, you can always invest. You can always learn how to invest. You can always learn how to do that with your money. You You don't have to be a business owner to invest. Cause I know people with regular jobs that invest their money. So you can take those kind of notes. There are different ways you can learn how to invest your money. But like I said, that's all I had to say on this topic. That was far as I can go with that one. I'll be talking next week on the 3 things that we as black people need in our community, and I'll also be covering some probably that story or maybe another story. I'm gonna be going over a news story plus that, but I had to go over this. I had to cover this. I had to talk about this for a minute because it was really something. It's really on my mind. I had to discuss it. I couldn't let it go. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, engage. If you disagree, just let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I won't be tolerating any ignorant comments, any troll comments. I'm not going to respond. None of that kind of stuff. But if you disagree, we can have a dialogue. But anything else, hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to tune in to the next broadcast. I'm out.